My gosh, those parents listen to me. They listen to me. And I thought they should have at the time. And that's what the communication was. But I got such gratification. This little girl who knew nothing ended up leading the class that year. And I thought, well, I've always thought my goal was to be a dance performer. But at the time I was like, I don't know. I get so much gratification out of teaching a person. The smile that they get, I don't think there's anything better. And also to do it correctly. But yeah, the parents, I actually came up with a process too, and I told the parents, I have 3- and 4-year-old children. Everybody's been to dance recitals. Some of the children, they wiggle and they giggle and they wave, and every parent thinks it's funny. My 3- and 4-year-olds did a dance. Nobody waved to anybody. Every one of them knew their dances. I said to the parent, whoever picks your little one up has to come into the studio for a minute, and you have to learn what I taught your child that day. And I want you to go home and practice all week, because the kids they wouldn't remember. Where I came up with that, I don't know, but it was the best thing I ever did, because every kid could dance.
You say in the book that you had a gig dancing on TV in Harrisburg?
I did. And this was my mother doing this. My mother, they had auditions for Ron Drake at the time. It was I think Channel 8, WGAL. They were going to run a show, local show, sort of like the Talent Hour, Ed Sullivan, local TV Teen Time it was called. And you had to audition. Well, I did that. And whatever my mom said I did, and I was, 7. And I had a contract to appear once a month on this show. And I just loved it. I loved it, And then that led to, we had another local show back then called Uncle Josh, which was like Mr. Green Jeans type of a cartoon show. Even though the Talent Scout Hour was wonderful, I'm on a cartoon show at 7 years old with my peers. I thought, I made it. I made it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How long did you keep your studio in Steelton?
I had that only 4 years. Only 4 years. I ended up meeting Brian's father. He's a New Yorker, and he was stationed in New Cumberland Army Depot. So I gave up my studio 2 years later, and we got married, and I moved to New York. I thought I was going to have this dream come true, a little Manhattan life, and it didn't quite turn out that way.
Did you ever pursue the performance part and do auditions and try to get in shows?
Through the years, I decided, I settled with the fact that I was not going to be a performer professionally, mostly because I couldn't sing. I knew I couldn't sing. But in New York, when you leave Steelton, on my local TV in New York City, it announced auditions for a new revival of No No Nanette. We're looking for strictly tap dancers, and I had given my studio up 3 months before that. And I thought, this is it, I'm going to do it. And I never did.
And you, I think you said you gave up dancing for 17 years?
I did.
Was it hard to get back to it? When you said, okay, I'm going to start dancing again, what did you do?
No, actually it's really funny. It's just something innate in you. It's just like when people say, it's like riding a bike. I'm going to my first class with no preparation. I just knew things would be, and it was wonderful.
How'd you get back to warming up and getting it back in your feet?
I tried my shoes on, they worked, and I was ready to go. I was in shape back then. And the irony of all of it, I went to dance when I needed a career. I went to dance when I needed income because of the boys, and I needed to dance when I was thinking of retiring and what am I going to do with my life. And when I found the studio, I was 2 months from Social Security to sign up for Social Security. And I get a kick out of that. You think, oh my gosh, here I am. In 2 months, I could sign up for Social Security, and instead, I signed a lease for a studio. So it doesn't matter how old you are, go do your dream.
Do you have one pair of shoes that you use all the time, or do you have a lot of different pairs of shoes?
I have 4 of the same shoe, only because of backups. My very favorite I had to sort of put in the background. They're very flexible shoes, and I've used them so much I could pick them up and actually wave to you with that shoe. So I usually use the same pair every week.
How do you figure out, you choreograph the dances for everybody?
I probably am more proud of that than anything in my life. From day one, when I had at 18 my first recital, to now I've choreographed every number in every show.
How do you come up with something new instead of just repeating the
I
same?
wish I knew. I don't know. I pick the song. You have to pick the song. And you listen to the song, and for some reason, the beat in that song just tells me what I hear and what to do. I'm very, very, very fortunate about that. But we do use the black and white spectator shoe. That was something new. We always wore the heels. Well, now that we're adults, we wear flats. And they're flexible, sort of like a ballet shoe. Very, very comfortable. They're spectators. They're awesome. The ladies love to wear them. They can't wait to make noise with their feet, with those shoes.
Are their arms, what they do with their arms, just as important as what they do with their feet during the show?
Yeah, there are arms. I teach a combination of Old Broadway and Gene Kelly. Old Broadway had the big arms, exaggerated everything, and Gene Kelly was down, and he was hard, and he danced. So I have that combination going. And my ladies, they know, Vicki, I will always yell, big arms, ladies, big arms. And they could be here, and boy, their arms just come up, and their heads move, they're smiling. And yeah, that's what makes the show. It's real show, and it's what we're used to. The baby boomers are used to seeing that Ziegfeld thing, and Gene Kelly, and it's here. It's right here in the studio.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what I think is when I first started working with my mother or seeing her classes, what struck me is the smiles on their faces. And, you know, a good friend of mine was watching a performance, and she was a few years younger than me, and she said, you know, Brian, I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever smiled doing anything as much as every one of these ladies on stage are smiling. And I said, you know, it's a really good point. And it's, I think, the key to the program, aside from my mother's personality and technique, it's that choreography. That choreography is this amazing link. She knows how to choreograph a dance to that level, and to make them feel not like they're dancing, but like they're really flying. And that she makes them,
Whichever level they're at.
yeah, every level. But what's so cool is you don't try to keep up with the trends now. Or, you know, we live in such a youth-obsessed pop culture. My mother is very unapologetic about the era she grew up in. And she makes her women look cool doing things they're comfortable with, not hip-hop, not any current thing that a Kim Kardashian cares about. Who cares? This is their world, and this is their generation. And
Well, you can hip hop with older people. You know, the bones, everything, the ankle, you don't want the ankle to go, you don't want the arm to go. So it's a whole different ball game teaching to adults. But it's okay. It all works out. If they have a knee problem, they can't jump to that step, I tell them to do a heel.
You broke your leg at age 60?
I did 2 months before a show.
You
Yes.
dance in the shows?
I dance very little in shows. And I feel there's a time and a place, and I know people keep saying, but we want to see you. This is for my tap pups. I really feel that I don't have a place out there. I'm behind the scenes. I know I love to do this, but no, I broke my foot. I broke my left foot, my left ankle, and my left leg at the same time. I was in a wheelchair for 5 months.
How long before you were dancing again?
That was March, and I didn't dance until September, but I did dance. The orthopedic doctor said if you dance and if you have any pressure on your leg, you'll probably be a cripple or have all these plates and screws. So I can't. I have to move my leg. Well, I was in a wheelchair, and you should have seen my right foot moving. I'm telling you, I was teaching out there.
We only have a couple minutes left, and there's a couple more things I want to talk about. First of all, you have some videos of the Tap Pups on YouTube?
Yes,
Is that your
we
idea?
do.
yeah, the YouTube channel's Vicki's Tap Pups. It's Vicki. TAPPUPS.
And we have DVDs too. We
Yes,
have
tell me about the instructional
Yeah.
DVDs.
We have instructional DVDs. I wanted to make an instructional DVD where I've seen so many and they're good, but if you're not a dancer, you're not going to be able to pick that up. They'll dance a step and you're to follow them and pick it up. I break it down just like I do in class. You break it down. I did it backwards for them. They can follow my feet. And then we practice 2 or 3 times. And then I teach a dance. We practice. And they end up, I brought my all-stars in and we filmed at the Hershey Theater. And my all-stars do the dance for each level and they get to dance with the all-stars at home. So I'm really proud of it. We have a beginner, intermediate, and advanced level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of amazed every time we watch them, what we produced. And the testimonies are amazing. And your dancers who are doing them at home as well come in and they're moving up levels.
Yeah. I had a laugh though. Well, the one lady bought a beginner DVD in her first beginner class. And the following week I walk in and she said to me, and I totally forgot that she had bought a DVD. She said to me, "There's my new best friend." And I said, "Yeah," I'm thinking she's just, being friendly. And she said, "Well, you're in my living room every day for a week." I said, "Oh."
You know what I will say just on the videos, the book, Encore Performance, is actually one of the most interactive books on the market. So there's 20 minutes of video embedded in the book. So the iPad version specifically, as you're reading, and the structure of the book is something I'm especially proud of, the way that we structured the book. It's very unique, and there's sort of 2 parallel timelines in the book. But as you're reading about, my mother teaching or some of the ladies in the program, you can click on the link and you see an embedded video that pops right up. And
So it has that little box next to the
yeah,
video
so
as you
in the
point?
print box, in the printed book, there's QR codes, which is a little scan. So your smartphone, you can scan that. You download an app and you scan it, and the videos and the people in the book come to life. And I think it's really cool that we have one of the most interactive books for sale today. Yeah. Little old us.
The book's a memoir. It's not totally a tap book.
Yeah.
It starts when I'm a child to see how I got to be who I am today. And it has so many endearing stories about the lives of some of my tap pups. And as well as, it's an all around, it really, it's amazing to me what we've come up with, what we were able to come up with. So Atria Books published that. They're with Simon & Schuster. So.
And I think you already answered the question I wanted to end with: Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly?
Oh, Gene Kelly.
Yeah.
Hands down. He's my guy.
Well, we've been speaking with Vicki Riordan and Brian Riordan. They authored this book, Encore Performance: How One Woman's Passion Helped a Town Tap into Happiness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.
The Midtown Bookstore Cafe is the official independent partner of PA Books. Order a copy of the book featured in today's program at midtownscholar.com or visit them 7 days a week in Harrisburg.
This PA Books program and more than 300 additional programs is available for purchase on DVD or VHS for $29.95, including shipping and sales tax. To order your copy, visit the PCN store at www.pcntv.com or call 1-866-726-8433.
Follow PA Books on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Kristen Brown. I'm the Prothonotary for the Commonwealth Court.